Hey, where are we at with Project Phillips? Right now, the biggest thing, not the biggest thing, but something I think is important enough for this episode is that Project Phillips is not closing on the 25th. I am very disappointed. Not that disappointed, but I think, and I'm not happy because every time I say it's gonna end, it never ends. I know it's very I'm the one responsible. Like I'm the one that's responsible for the project, so I have the full power of like just saying this is the last episode. But that's how I want to do it. Um, but with that being said, I don't want to dwell too much on the past. I'm like, oh yeah, this sucks. I'm very disappointed. I didn't take this route, or I should focus on this or that. I kind of want to just say what I want to work on next and what I'm going to be working on this week. So this week, I want to focus in much more on Project Phillips. I think the last couple of weeks have been focused on stuff from WTM to Quest to research to rebranding. And I think this week I want to focus in much more on Project Phillips. I think that's going to be really interesting because it's going to be a much more artsy literature focused week in that regard instead of like being more tech focused in regards to like, oh, what's going on in research, what's going on in building an app and all that. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. It's been a while. And I think I really do, I don't say like I'm an artsy person, but I do like to always like dabble back into that artsy kid in myself, if that's the right way to phrase it. So I'm excited to try that out. I don't think it's. I think it's gonna be a fun time. I think it's gonna be really fun to kind of just reflect because a lot of Project Phillips, especially when I try to end it, is much more of a reflective process. Because I always try and get everything I can like to make sure I have a proper conclusion that I like. I best represent everything that's happened. I know that's a hard challenge to do, but I do think it's a worthwhile one to do as well. Um, but I'm excited because I also there's gonna be like the third episode, the third to last episode, which is gonna be like a high school episode, which is like me just telling a bunch of high school stories from high school, just reflect on those and to see like how those 4 years shaped me into like the person I am now. I am now and I'm becoming. The second episode I think is gonna be one looking back into the projects I've worked on, reflecting on those, and the projects I didn't do, didn't finish, and all that. And the last one's gonna be a look into the future, which is gonna be really exciting. So I get to like split them off um, into three different pieces that I think are important. I think the third episode, which it's been a long time since I've mentioned this, but the third episode is kind of meant to be a conclusion to the whole My Symphony thing because I hyped that up a lot and I never really did anything with it. So I think this would be a nice callback. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try to like I want like what was it? I don't want to extend this episode too much. It does not have to be extended too, but I do think it's interesting in the regard that it's cool. I'm disappointed that I didn't do it on time, but it's cool that I get to like get to do get back into that process, especially in writing, because I think writing is something that takes a lot of practice to get good at. I remember when I was writing like the first or second ending of Project Phillips, and it was taking me hours and hours to even get like a one paragraph done. I'm also really bad at scripts when it comes to like using scripts for these videos. A lot of these videos, 99% of them, are just me talking from straight from my head. Hence the flaws and all that. But I do think it's easier for me to just go straight from my brain rather than like trying to read a script. Because when I read a script and then go off the script by even like a small deviation, it messes up the whole process for me. But it's gonna be nice to get back in that script writing process and just put my head back into that space overall. But besides that, though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.